All right, and we are live. I had a lot of people ask me, Dan, why are you so regimented? Why is your schedule so rigid? Why can't you relax a little bit? Why don't you take a break? First of all, I don't hate real estate, and I don't hate my job, and I really don't hate making cold calls or doing real estate deals, and I don't mind coming back from vacation because I actually like what I do. But people notice that I've got a very, very strict schedule, and they want to know why. And the reason why I hold that strict schedule is because when I started real estate, I didn't have another fucking option. There was no going back to work at the Atlantis buffet for $38,000 a year. There was no going back to bartending. The only thing that I had was real estate, and I followed directions of what the experienced people told me to do. And it fucking sucked. I had 0 deals my first 6 months in the business. 0 deals my first 6 months. No contracts, no listings, nothing. And then what happened is it broke on month 7 when I got 3 deals into escrow because it all came from my database. What I figured out after that was expireds and FSBOs. And guys, the thing to keep in mind about expired listings and FSBOs listings, if you don't have any business and you don't know anybody in town or you're new somewhere, you go after the people who are looking to do business now, because you don't have 15 years to build relationships with all the soccer moms and all the school people and your church and all. You've got to get paychecks in the door. So I went after expireds. The reason why I got good at them is because I figured out that when you're going after expireds and they've had their home listed, number one, they probably listed with the one real estate agent that they knew. Now their home's off the market. They still need to get it sold. Expired listings have problems that need to be solved. So you got to be a problem solver. You got to become a yes guy. I was out on Christmas Eve helping people move in the middle of the snow my first year in real estate. I still help people move. My Instagram feed a month or 2 ago, I was filling up a storage container full of stuff for people at a U-Haul place just to get them out of the deal in time so we can have an early closing and get them moved and get their money out. You got to be willing to do what it takes, especially when you're new, and you have to become a problem solver. Too many people are so tight about what they're willing to do and what they're not willing to do that it's going to cost you deals. So you better be flexible. You better be willing to be able to solve people's problems. I had this one lady, one time, she didn't want to list with me, or anyone for that matter, because she had all this valuable jewelry in her house. Now, what's valuable to her is a different story of what's valuable to me, but she was like, I can't list this home, all of these valuable things. And I said, hey, no problem. Why don't we just go buy you a safe and we'll keep it in the safe while the showings are happening? And she's like, well, I'm not paying for that. I said, hey, no problem. I'll pay for it. Look, guys, how much is the safe going to cost me? $400. What was the commission on it? 10 grand. Do the fucking math. Was it worth it? Yes. Did it solve the problem? Yes. Did she feel good and sign that day? Fuck yeah, she did. We sold that home and we moved on down the road. And guess what? When it came time to go get the safe, she said, you know what? I think everything will be fine. What was the real problem? The real problem for her was the fear, and I was willing to solve that issue. So she felt comfortable. And in the end, she said, you know what? Don't worry about it. Let's just go ahead and get this home on the market and get it sold. She's making excuses. Become a yes person. You guys are going to do way more deals if you're flexible, especially when you're new. As you get a little bit more seasoned, then you can start choosing on who you want to work with. Until then, you better be hungry, and you got to take pretty much everything